here as well. Okay. YouTube is now live. Right, what's up, chat? Talk to me. Anyone do anything fun for New Year's? Come on, give me the stories. Let me know what's up. What up, Bagger the Turk? What up, John? JM13, V Goose, Hubster. What are you guys up to? I just got Tekken 8 as a New Year's gift today. Oh, nice. A New Year's gift. Is that a thing? I have never heard of a New Year's gift. Come on, give me the background. What's the lore on that one? Am I on PC mode? Oh, controller's not plugged in at all. That'll do it. Got the PS12 Victrix. What is the PS12 Victrix? Is that the new version of the PlayStation? What's going on there? I stayed home and played games. I mean, that could be a good thing. What is this? Okay, we're good. What are you headphones? I think exclamation point headphones still gives you the details. Yeah. There you go. Check that out. Am I live on YouTube? YouTube, talk to me. Anyone there? Is chat functioning? It says I have 0 views. Am I live on YouTube? Oh, what's up, YouTube? Okay. All right, we're cooking. What's good, guys? Thanks for tuning in. New to me, but I'm happy though. It's on my wish list for a while, and my online friend bought it. I don't know why he got it to me. He said, "Here's this as a New Year's gift." Oh, that's surprisingly pleasant and wholesome. That's awesome, man. The other Zarhawk, thanks to the big 70 freaking 2. All right, guys. Goal for today is play video game. Hello, Pixar. I want to see if I remember how to play. Brian, any plans on making a Viper guide like your Sagat one? No. I get asked that question a decent amount, surprisingly. No, that's... If I made a Viper guide, it would be much more streamlined and low effort. GM13 FGC with the 19 months. Appreciate that. Big New Year. Thank you for the last year of streams, vids, and trash talk. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that, dude. Sky guy was goated. It was goated, but not worth the squeeze, unfortunately. Sky guy was sick as fuck. I've been playing a bit of Sagat today, and it's been very useful. Nice. I mean, I'm glad to hear it was successful for like the audience it found. Even when I went back, you know, today on the Clips channel, finally we got out the checkmate investigation video. Even when I was going back to like look at Sagat and his checkmate options and his stun combos, I had to go back to my own guide to remember his combos. They're a little bit out of date. There's some slightly more optimal stuff that's out there for certain situations that I didn't have at the time, but I had to like remember. I was like, wait, what do you do here? I had to go to my own guide, which is very common. You know, I used to make a lot more straight up like character specific tech videos, even back in like Street Fighter or like vanilla Street Fighter 5 Nikali days. I made a bunch of Nikali guides getting me kind of started on YouTube when Street Fighter 5 first released. And half of that was also just me documenting my shit for myself because I could not remember everything. I would watch my own guides to remember what the fuck was going on. I'm also going to have to remember what I do with this character. I definitely feel like I forgot some of my Oki and options. So, like, what would I do here? That's plus 10. Plus, well, they're burnt. That's not, I should not have them burnt out right now. Plus 8. And this set up heavy burn kick meaty. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember some of my Oki setups. I already forgot them. What up, Jeremiah Whitley was good. Okay, so last thing I was really trying to practice was this, right? And that gives you plus 23 Oki, which means meaty overhead. And you can get a combo there. I want to say the Sate. Yeah, meaty overhead. Uh-oh. A little rusty. Or was the whiffed... Yeah, whiff crouching light punch into stand medium punch or crouching medium kick. That's plus 4. So I can do it again. Okay. And then I can try on this side. Why am I not getting... Okay, there. The Oro guide was also nice. Good times. Are you confusing me with Broski? That's okay. You can admit it. I won't judge you that harshly. Have you noticed that Japanese players started doing driver's jab whiff, crouching likely to bait the drive rush overhead reaction? I've been seeing a load of Japanese players doing it. Like, in general, from those, like, super delayed Oki setups. Like here. Maybe it would be more from, like, yeah, flip them like this. You played Oro in Street Fighter V too, right? Maybe once or twice. I don't remember Broski making an Oro guide either, to be quite honest, but I did not make a dedicated Oro guide. from what I recall. In general, at that point, I stopped doing comprehensive character guides. And I mean, I would do like a lot of... I did a shit ton of oral content, of course, but it wasn't... It was more like individual little tidbits of tech and pieces as I was exploring the character. I stopped doing dedicated guides per character because they just aren't really... They don't appeal to a wide audience. It's not edutainment enough. It's too niche. All right, let's play the game. I'm probably really rusty. Let's see if I remember how to play. What up, Captain Dax? Happy New Year. Nice. Clean sequence. We're warming up. Good call out. I thought I had frame advantage there. Ooh, got punished? No! Damn, I missed my whip punish. I love Viper, but playing her against Jury and Kim is a pain. I don't know if Jury's a problem. Kim might be. I don't know. I think Viper does pretty good against most characters. Dude, I'm dropping my frame perfect stuff. I tried to DP with DP. Oh no. Like I'm playing Sagat or something. Okay. L Angry Bird 08, thanks for the big 51. Thank you. Nice. Yeah, that's gonna work. Okay, can I do something about this? I don't... Does she always get a pure dash up media after CA? I don't know the Oki there very well. I forgot how to do my level 3. I meant to level 3 after that combo, but I forgot the input. Alright, GG's. I forgot if it was quarter circle forward or back. Alright, it's back. Alright, we got to warm up. I'm still forgetting the moves. The problem with DLC hopping characters is if I take any time off at all, I literally forget the character I'm playing. I landed this, and I meant to do level 3, but could not for the life of me remember which direction it was. Alright, GG. What about Angry Bird? Thanks for the big 51 again. It's a shame that isn't a true block string for Burnout. It's good enough, though. I mean, yeah, there's a gap they can super, but it's still a pretty strong Burnout string, I feel like. Yeah, she doesn't have a super true Burnout loop to just rinse and repeat full screen if they have super. But I think that's fine. One brain cell. Or VP? No shimmy? I feel like the game is dropping my inputs right now. Grind Inc. with the 22 was good. Appreciate that. My frame drops are actually nuts right now. I'm getting 52 frames. I don't know why the game just randomly works and then doesn't work for me. God, I would have had a clean kill there if I didn't suck. Yeah, this FPS is kind of nuts. Meaty? Oh, throw looping? Okay, he's gonna parry this time? No? What a plunder and grunt. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you. Brother, that was a late-ass reaction. Nice. Okay, you don't get a meaty seismic here. I'm gonna hold up forward. nice. I was hoping he was going to go for the meaty Seismo. Alright, GG's, GG's. Level 1 shenanigans. Who do you find fun after Viper? Like, the next most fun character? I think JP in this game is fun. Ed in this game is fun. Sagat's pretty fun. No, I never played Viper in 4. I learned all her mechanics in this game, which they're slightly more lenient in this game, and also I learned it all on leverless using Street Fighter 6 style jump SOCD, so like I can't even go back to Viper in Street Fighter 4 and play her. Just wouldn't even be possible. Oh, I thought I could walk out of the range and not get thrown there. Okay, I'm in the mix. If I do the overhead in the corner, I'm in the mix. Oh, fuck. I should not have whiffed. Level 3? Level 3. Ah! Oh, nice, nice forward heavy. Dodges the Seismo. What? He jumped forward right then? Alright. I think I'm gonna stop my local recording and hope my computer stops dying so I can actually get 60 FPS. I've been playing at 52 FPS this whole time. It's kind of annoying. Nice conversion. That was the drive rush one. Yeah, you can't DI there. Damn. Why is super late delayed overhead from Drive Rush so good? It just works, man. It just works. Nice. I should have gone for like immediate crouching medium. All right, here's a dream. Okay. Okay, sure. One bad habit I have with Viper for sure is going for crouch fierce too often. I gotta pepper in a lot more crouching MKs. People always walk out of range of my spacing traps. I gotta clip them low. I try to shimmy. Is that a hard character? Yeah, to optimize them, yeah. I think his basic game plan is not that hard. But he's definitely harder than a lot of other characters in this game. Oh, totally baited. Could I have killed there? Where's my button? Oh, I was 2+ for my own good. Oh, you didn't want to kill me? Okay. I think you chose the wrong combo. I had a really hard time picking up Ed because I didn't know how to like properly do DPs on leverless at the time, so that was really hard for me. But also, I was playing a lot more slower and reactive and defensively. If you just like spam his buttons and flickers, you might be able to steamroll for a while and get by with some easy wins up front. Yeah, his DP is hard to use. So, like, playing defensively with him can be hard. But he has some cheap offense to just get you started. Oh, he's not dead here. What up, Panda? I went Texas Showdown with Ed. Yeah, but that was like a grueling month of grind that I went on. I couldn't play at all at first. Was it a month later? Like 2 months later? Oh my god. I'm still rusty, chat. Thank you. Ah, nice. I'm dead. Oscar Champ, thanks for the gifted sub to Rossi. Appreciate that. Nice, nice. Do I have reverb on my mic? Do I? There shouldn't be. I definitely sometimes forget, even after all this content and controversy around checkmating Elena, I still forget that she has a non-invincible level 1. This might be a little greedy. I feel like we might be able to do something with this. No, that was That was Seismo feint. Okay. I didn't mean to whiff my slowest button mid-screen. I was trying to bait that out with a Seismo feint. Nice. Okay, I went a little ham there, and that could have been really bad for me, but it worked out. You can't really feint. They perfect parry the Seismo. I'm at the side swap. Good idea. What? I'm dead. Okay, yes, he had to spend level 3 at least. Damn, I had a huge opportunity there to do the side swap, and of course, I'm a deer in headlights when it happens. Alright, GG's. Dude, towards heavy kick, I kind of love that button with Viper. That button, I didn't really know how to use at first, but it really chunks at their drive gauge with a pretty solid poke, and it does crazy damage if you get a counter hit. So what happened here? You made a mistake. This. So when Elena is doing this whole rhino kick, I should be confident in killing them. Like, I could have killed them. Right? Can I? Getting the duck punish. I guess I should just go for... That would have been an easy kill. Why do you think some players are considering Viper to be low tier? I'm not sure. I don't think she's low tier. I honestly don't really understand it yet. I think she's pretty good. I've heard some like good players rate her very high, and I've seen some really good players rate her very low. So I don't know. I don't think the verdict is out yet. She might just have some bad matchups. Yeah, I'm playing on leverless. All right, Bao is the most chaotic Geef of all time. Just got to avoid disaster. Disaster will strike us very soon. It might be GG already. Will I ever understand what happens when Geef lands one hit? Whoops. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. No! Classic. Fuck. Good read, good read. Drop one sequence and you're in the fucking 50-50 blender. I don't want to be here, man. I don't want to play you. Wait. Did he block or did it auto block? Does that work? Oh, that would have been fucking crazy. Oh, I dropped. Oh no, that was a huge opportunity again. Okay, can I survive this somehow? Oh god. Okay. I think he would have won if he just waited it out. My life. He's gonna try to like do whiff jab to level 1 or 3. He's gonna try to go for the gusto. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to check it or not. GG. GG. My button placement wasn't good enough. Geef is a clown character. Yeah, but, you know, you gotta have a clown character. I mean, he's the clown character.
comes a new challenger. Round one. Fight.
Now, why would I tech a throw mid-screen and not just take the damage? Okay, nice. Nice option.
Round two. Fight.
Oh, fuck. Okay, thank you, burn kick. Thank you, burn kick. Yo, my timer for the bomb was horrendous there. I did that so early. I held parry like 5 minutes too early right there. Are you looking forward to Alex or not really? I've never really cared about Alex. I'm far more interested in what Ingrid would be. Okay, I actually used the focus force and it worked. Man. Oh, I suck. Oh, man. Why did level 1 have to whiff there, too, in the first place? Oh, fuck. Ah! It's still dangerous, man. Oh! If I wasn't so ass, this would be easier. I've considered this many times. If I just stopped sucking ass, winning would be easier. It's so simple. It's just crazy enough that it just might work. The Calamari, thanks for the big 23. Appreciate that. Enjoy the mid-tier emotes. Most things in life can be resolved by just being better, chat. He should have waited to do something and he would have won. I think you're not really realizing what side of ranked we're on right now. Nice. Jumping. I tried, man. I really tried. Oh, what? I was teching. Okay, my bad. This doesn't work. Okay. Maybe it works sometimes. Oh my god, I was so scared. I was so scared. I should have gone into a drive rush cancel combo. Woo! I didn't check that. Cam dying again? Brother, dude, what is going on with my setup lately? I feel like everything's dying. My computer's dying constantly. My cam's dying constantly. Thank you. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Hubster the 13, thank you so much. No drop? Come on now. Yeah, I really don't know why the light of the camera would be overheating here.
M. Bison wins.
We'll let it cool off for a little bit. What the fuck? No, get out of there. Brother! What? What even was that? I'm fighting technology. Why is that even a macro on my leverless? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Totally intentional. All right, GG's. GG's. Lazy Luku, thanks for the 17. Appreciate that. Ooh. Oh. All right, is that enough time? What do you think? Let's see. All right, camera's back. Turning on. Here we go.
Here comes a new challenger.
A button on my hitbox brings up Copilot. Will AI stop at nothing to integrate itself, force itself into our lives? Dude, I would rage so hard if a button on my controller brought up fucking AI Copilot to spew some bullshit. I was late? I am punished. EXE Van Jones, thanks again for the 11. Thank you very much. Oh, dude, that totally messes up your, Baited? Okay, a little bit of a flub, but I'll take it. Yeah, but perfect parry messes up all your cancels. Oh, shit. Oh, dude, I suck! I got killed! Yeah, he wanted to burn that early to preserve the drive gauge. Oh, no! I was cooking! Close one. Close one. Oh, mid-screen shimmy. Nice. Nice sequence. Gotta share the playlist. What is it, the Gesaffelstein? I don't know what you're listening to. I never hear the music. So, both when you guys complain and praise the music, I have no idea what's going on. Should have killed him. Oh, nice. Yeah, damn. I whiffed. He was gonna die. One touch and he was dead actually with the damage output I got. I'm late! Oh, I was looking for it. That was gonna be a clean 2-0. God damn it, dude. I was purposely not trying to bait the jump. Alright, nice. Fuck. It's too late. I should have gone into OD. Thunder Dash if I'm going to do this. You got it? Alright, nice. I thought I could sneak that one past him. Alright, GG's, man. Good stuff. I knew it was a threat, but I figured at that distance he would have stopped looking for it for half a second. Alright, GG's. So you got this matchup feels like a problem. a problem for Viper. Who's my main? I don't know. I've been hopping characters. I guess you can argue my main right now is Viper. Ooh, lucky towards heavy kick. Sagat is pretty weak, to be honest. Where's my mods when you need them? Blatant rage baiting in the chat room. Let me out. Oh god. Yeah, God, I suck. Why did I press that? People are walking away. Press crouching medium kick. Dude, I'm losing all my games getting baited on the anti-air. Oh my god. Oh, Sagat. I do not like fighting you with Viper, man. I do not like it. I was hovering over the DI button. I was like, he's gonna try to rip this shit from my hands. I missed time the overhead anyways. Okay. No true throw loop without drive rush, at least. He tried to walk up grab. It's not easy for Sagat to do that.
Viper. Round
she doesn't really have an answer for medium punch spam except parry. I mean, she has no reversal. That's a lot of characters in this game. $69 every time.
Round 2. Fight.
I tried, man. I really tried. I tried to get it in time. Yeah, nice. Oh! You overextended. Okay. Lucky me. Lucky me. Okay, guys, let me take a quick break here. I'll BRB. 1 second, guys. Be right back. Thanks for hanging around. 1 second. Okay. What did I miss? Yeah, I feel like when I beat Sagat with Viper, I'm mostly just getting lucky, like they mess up or something. What shall throw? You press there? Ah, nice. People press on my drive rush crouching MK and it confuses me because I'm very plus there. I gotta keep tighter strings. Ah! I could have smoked him there. Dude, I'm fucking up. Big Mike? What up with the big 16? Thank you very much, man. Nice backdash. Damn, you went for it? I whiffed. Yeah, Honda's like to walk back, press heavy punch. I should have just pressed crouching MK if I'm gonna press, or just do nothing and let it go. Don't whiff. People are walking away. Think of their walk patterns. Attack the toes. What? Damn. What do I do with this? Does this? I don't think he's dead. Ah! We had a guess. He forced the guess. He had plus frames there. Damn, that should not have happened. Okay, hold on. Really? That was punishable like that? Damn, my whip punishes are late. You know he's gonna press the medium punch. It's just a matter of when. Could you have killed off that stun? I don't think so. I didn't have any super meter. I think I did what was optimal there.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh god. I wasn't even in the corner? That whiffed? Oh, is that a mid-screen dirty DI setup? Did I just win his tech? Oh no, it's falling apart. All of this was dumb. GG's, GG's. Damn. Neutral jump, whiff heavy to crushers. Ah. That was kind of in the bag for me for a second. Just remember, when you complain about you're complaining about a character with no plus unblocked normals, LOL. What kind of advanced downplay is going on in the YouTube chat? That is some fucking... That is insidious downplay. The best downplay does have an element of truth to it. She does not have any plus unblocked normals without dry rush, and it does not fucking matter. And she's absolutely busted anyways. But he's speaking facts. Those are facts. Hey, put the pressure on him.
Round one. Fight.
Oh, nice jump back. Interesting. Damn. Dude, when I do these cross-up burn kicks, so many times I just think they hit because like it's hard to hit confirm with all the fire and stuff, and then I'm like going for Oki and they're just standing there in my grill and I'm looking dumb. Like I thought that hit, that's why I dashed there, even though I'm negative on block if they block it. I was going for my new fancy cross-up and totally ruined it. Better luck next time, I suppose. Yeah, GG. Okay. The first step to doing something good is to do it bad, so I'm currently at least thinking of doing my side swap combo and doing it badly. What up, Fats? What's good? Oh, damn, that wolf got punished. Ayy. Okay, nice. Get back into this since my goat dropping soon. Oh, Ingrid? Nice. Oh, shit. Hold up. Oh, a guess. Oh my god! How did I fumble that? Nice. All right, GG's, man. Brian, you didn't anti-air at all. I wonder why. I wonder why. Next time I fight a Cammy, I'll anti-air every time. For sure. I'm sure nothing bad will happen because of that. Oh! Missed my burn kick. Ouch. Missed my burn kick.
Round 2. Fight.
Okay. You let me live? What can I do with this? What can I do with this? I should have done medium-sized mode as the second one. You walked really far forward. This won't even kill, will it? Oh no. Okay.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh fuck yeah! Don't do that when he has the whirlwind up. He has full screen control. Almost stole that one back. Alright, nice little confirm. No level 2 at least. Why can't I hit you? Oh my god. I still fall for the basic Rashid bullshit stuff. I hate losing to the gimmick stuff. I'm pretty bad at dealing with that from Rashid. His whirlwind shenanigans. If I had just checked that, I would have won. Unfortunately for me in that matchup, if the Rashid player plays like I understand how to deal with the shenanigans, it's significantly easier. As soon as they just start doing dumb shit the whole time, I will fall apart. Alright, I would like to break out of the low 1900s, high 1800s. Hey, hold up, hold up. Hey, new sequence. Okay, I landed the side swap. And it actually kind of did work for me. Side swap to meaty overhead combo. He has level 3. And he's modern. This might be dumb. Okay, worked out. Made him block. Yeah, the side swap combo I'm doing leaves you at plus 23, which is the perfect frame advantage for a frame perfect meaty overhead, which will let you get the jab combo. Pico Duck, thanks for the 14. Appreciate that. Should have Drive Rush canceled. I would have killed here. How's Viper feel? I like playing Viper. It's definitely fun to play. Whoops. Okay, guys, I'm gonna take a break here also after going absolutely nowhere with my MR after an hour and 50 minutes, of course. I'm gonna get some food, reheat, and then maybe we'll watch some of the Daigo videos. There's some Daigo stuff I need to study up on. So give me a minute or two here, guys. I'll BRB. Thanks for watching. Okay, share stream over. Oh shit, SK! SK rating the chair stream. Sorry, was the raid because of the chair stream? Is that what you guys wanted to see? Hello, SK. Happy New Year. Hopefully you're doing well.
Bitch, I live in a fucking trash can.
Wow, with the 16. What's up? What you been up to? What you gaming on right now?
Bitch, I live in a fucking trash can.
What's to play? It's Onyx. Thanks for the 16 months. Appreciate that. IGN released a fighting game video. Can you watch it? Lol. Sure. Is it any good? I'm skeptical. And Larry Lombardi. Thanks for the one viewer raid. Oh, is Deadlock actually like cooking right now? How to get good at fighting games, the 2D ones anyway. Oh shit, I am definitely about to steal from IGN. Is my camera dead? When did that happen? When did this happen? Golly. Being a streamer is too hard. I can't buy new anything right now. Everything's too expensive. It's too difficult. Yeah, I will definitely steal from IGN gladly. Let me get this set up 1 second here. I have my fan. You guys want to know my setup? First of all, I was going to show you my food. Now I can't even show you my food. I have a tiny little like space fan. I don't even know what you'd call it. A desk fan sitting on top of my speaker, pointed at my DSLR camera. That shit's on full blast. It's very precarious. It falls over all the time. Maybe I should put it on the other side. Be a little bit closer to the camera. The problem is I have my key light behind the camera as well. Because of course. So yeah, this is tough right now. Okay, let's try. Let's try to bring the camera alive. No? Oh, no, it's complaining. It's actually complaining right now. Oh, is it dying? No, what? Are you unplugged? Hold on. Does it have no battery? I don't like whatever symbol it's showing. I've never seen it shown this symbol before. Let's see. Okay, I don't know. It's working. Like this might die any moment. This might die at any moment. Okay. Oh yeah. Dinner. Leftover ground beef. Ooh, hot. Hot. Hold on. Leftover basic ground beef stir fry with some green onion, carrot in there, just add in the fridge. And then a bunch of roasted root vegetables. Focus, man. Focus. I think autofocus is off. Roasted root vegetables, sweet potato, like regular sweet potato, Japanese sweet potato, squash, and broccoli. I've been getting kind of on my roast root vegetable game recently, and a fried egg. Those are the reheated leftovers, and they're so fucking good. The veggies came out so good. Just a baking sheet with parchment paper. Chop up the potatoes, the squash, and just throw in some frozen broccoli, olive oil, salt, pepper. So good. So fucking good. Are you Italian? No, but I've heard that a lot. And my grandfather actually looks straight up Italian. I was debating if I should go for some Mario bit or not, but I've seen pictures of my grandpa when he was young, and he looks straight fucking Italian. I'm like, are we sure we're not Italian? But we're not. Just gringo. 30-minute pain. Thanks for the 17 months. Appreciate that. What up, Nuggy? Do I use a dummy battery for a camera? I don't know what that means. I have it. I have a Sony VHX238, something like that. I'm butchering it, and it lets me power it with USB-C, and so that's what I do when I stream. Okay, IGN published a fighting game video, which is pretty rare. How to get good at fighting games, the 2D ones anyways. And this is pretty interesting because we just saw the 2XKO guide that was put onto the main 2XKO channel done by Core A Gaming, kind of like a sponsored video they did as a beginner guide on that channel. And I had a lot of critiques for it, actually, because it was really in-depth and kind of confusing and might be potentially a little intimidating for beginners, I felt like. But that was more like an introduction to the genre and explaining it, and I think it did really good as like a seminar into fighting games. This one says how to get good at fighting games, so I'm expecting some actionable steps here to take to actually improve your skill level. Let's see.
I have a lot of friends.
Hold on, Street Fighter 5. You know, some people say they miss that OST, man. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Mitchell Saltzman, Jurassic Rabbit. Let's see what you got to offer. Sorry, hold on.
I have a lot of friends who play video games, but among them, very few who play fighting games. And that's a bummer because I love fighting games. But I also understand that it's not the easiest of genres to break into. While simple inputs, auto combos, and modern controls may make it easier for people to get in at a casual level, if you're not thinking about the buttons you're pressing, you're basically just playing a fancy video game version of Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Very true.
And just like how you're not going to discover the depth of boxing by playing hours of Rock'em Sock'em Robots, you're also not going to learn what's fun about fighting games if you're just focusing on mashing single button auto combos. So if you're interested in fighting games but feel like you don't even know where to begin when it comes to learning how to play them or enjoy them on a deeper level, here are some tips to get good at them. The 2D ones anyway. Before we start, just a quick note. This is a massive topic that can...
I will say off the bat, I respect Jurassic Rabbit here, establishing a little bit of street cred. A lot of these guides from these major publications, the stock footage is CPUs beating each other up. So the fact that he's here flexing, hey, I'm in high master on Street Fighter 6, and then I can play all these games competently and actually do the combos. Normally, I don't really think you need to establish too much credibility like that as a content creator when discussing fighting games. But I think when it comes to IGN, you do have to kind of get a little bit of street cred under your belt for the hardcore audience before going forward. So I respect the inclusion of actual ranked gameplay footage from your own account to establish that.
Casual level, if you're not thinking about Sock'em Robots and mashing, know where to begin to get good at them. The 2D ones anyway. Before we start, just a quick note. This is a massive topic that can cover everything from the most basic of basics to high-level content.
And yes, what he said about mashing just being like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, it's very true. I think the general gaming consciousness and awareness of competitive esports and the respect for competitive gaming has mostly chipped away at the issue of brand new players picking up a fighting game and just mashing mindlessly and thinking that that's the end all be all and there's nothing beyond that. there used to be a legitimate problem prior to like the internet esport era where people would literally think that fighting games are just mindless button mashers, and that was the extent of the depth of the genre, and it was whoever can mash the fastest was the better player. That still exists, but I think with newer generations of gamers and understanding esports and that there's competitive depth to gaming, that has been done away with. But it's still worth a reminder, like, yeah, you need to pay attention to the buttons you're pressing and intentionally press a move and see that move interact on the screen and get feedback from that button press. Like, you need to touch the stove to see if it's hot sometimes. You need to see what happens when you press this move, what happens on screen based on the state. And you need to be having this synergy between what's on screen and the buttons you're pressing, that which will enhance your feedback loop of the gameplay and help you learn a lot faster. The moment you start losing control of the buttons you're pressing, you lose that feedback loop and you stop progressing.
Concepts and techniques that you'll see pros utilize regularly. I actually tried to script out a video like this years ago, but it ended up getting so long that I couldn't imagine anyone who actually needed it actually watching it. So I'm going to try and keep the scope manageable and focus on what I believe to be the most essential things that you need to start you on your journey. And if people enjoy it, maybe I'll make a part 2. But for now, let's start with what I believe to be the #1 most important thing when it comes to getting good at fighting games. The key to enjoying difficult games like Dark Souls, Elden Ring, and especially roguelites is to understand that dying is all part of the experience. Especially
The Yipes quote is doing works. You have to get washed to get clean. This quote was popularized by Yipes. He accredited it to, I believe, another member of the fighting game community. And I've used this quote, taking it from Yipes. I've seen a few people attribute this to me. That's not me. That's not me. I think I only have one good quote in the FGC. Anytime I've seen like our Street Fighter discussions about fighting games and people like attribute quotes to me, 9 times out of 10, it's not me. The only good quote I've ever come up with is people will discredit your wins until you lose on their terms. That's me. That's a Brian F. original. I'm going to take credit for those bars. Everything else was, it's distributed through someone else. And even IFC Yipes got this one from someone else.
Is to understand that dying is all part of the experience. Every death is a lesson, and part of the skill of those games is applying those lessons to future attempts and learning from your mistakes. But to have that clarity of mind to be able to do that, you have to be okay with failure.
I coined desync. It didn't take off though.
You have to get washed to get cleaned. And it's true.
There's
just too much information to take in when you first start playing any given fighting game. All the fundamentals, the system mechanics, everything your character can do, what your opponent's character can do, what's safe, what's punishable, etc. You can't expect to know how to deal with everything from the get-go. You have to absorb it over time. And the best way to do that is to go into your matches with a mindset that's focused more on learning than on winning. Eventually and inevitably, that mindset will shift once you feel like you've learned enough, but you always have to remind yourself that losing is part of the process, and that there's always more to learn. So don't...
Very true. I would add a little extra to that, and I would say... Sorry, my cable is all fucked up. I would add a little extra to that and say that it's important to gamify your learning as well. So going in with a learning mindset is really important because you're probably not going to win much at all. But I would also say make little mini games for yourself to have a better time with the process. Like, have a goal in mind. I'm going to focus only on anti-airing. I'm going to try to land this one little whiff punish. I'm going to try to land this one little throw tech, whatever it may be, as small as it is, bite-sized as it is. The more bite-sized and achievable, the better. You need to gamify your learning, and that will give you the dopamine hit you need to motivate you and reward you for playing without necessarily having to get the W. If you make your dopamine cycle entirely dependent on a win or a loss, you're going to have a very bad time. But if you can gamify these small moments of learning, it can really help improve your journey and make it a lot more enjoyable along the way.
Don't let thoughts of, I suck, or this is too hard, ever stop you. You will improve, and the feeling of overcoming or learning how to better deal with a tactic or character that previously gave you trouble is one of the most powerful feelings in fighting games, and one part of what makes it such a special genre.
Very true.
Blocking is pretty much the most important skill you'll need to learn when playing fighting games. Fortunately, it's really easy. You just hold back to block standing and hold down back to block low. You'll
What is
generally
that?
want to default to blocking low, as it blocks both low and mid attacks and also prevents you from backing yourself into the corner. Then you can switch to a standing guard to block jump-ins and overheads, which will break through a crouching block. Note that Mortal Kombat is unique in that you have a button.
This is great. One small critique I would have to nitpick here. You know, I don't want to be too nitpicky. I would be concerned if a brand new player was lost when you said lows and mids. It's kind of it's definitely difficult to explain blocking and the different types of levels attacks could hit at the same time. You kind of have to introduce them simultaneously, I believe. So what is a mid? And even then, I don't know their definition of mid. I guess their definition of mid is attacks that can be blocked low or high. If you talk about mids cross 3D games like Tekken, that's a different definition as well.
To default to blocking low, as it blocks both low and mid attacks and also prevents you from backing yourself into the corner. Then you can switch to a standing guard to block jump-ins and overheads, which will break through a crouching block. Note that Mortal Kombat is unique in that you have a button that you have to hold down in order to block, which makes things a bit different when it comes to cross-ups, but that's something for another video. As for when you should block, basically whenever you're not committing to offense, you should have your finger or thumb hovering over the down-back buttons, ready to block. But you especially want to be blocking when your opponent has the advantage over you. That means if they land a hit, you should be blocking. If they knock you down, you should be blocking. Unless you're doing what's called a hard read and intend on challenging their offense with either a wake-up reversal, a jump out, or a quick button. Of course, the really hard part about blocking is knowing when it's your turn to go on the offensive, which is one of the things you'll have to absorb by playing over time. However, there are some mostly universal rules that you should keep in mind. If you block a jump attack, it is generally not your turn, so you should not press a button after blocking. This is why it's especially important to anti-air opponents, or hit them out of the air either with an air-to-air or air-invulnerable move. More on that later though. Characters with dive kicking special moves, which allow them to halt their aerial momentum and dive downwards at an angle, like Cammy in Street Fighter 6, are a little unique in that if their dive kick hits high on your guard, it's generally your turn, and may even be an opportunity to punish. But if they hit low, like around the feet, it's not your turn. There are some exceptions, but generally this is how dive kicks work.
Going into dive kicks? You're getting to the weeds real quick. I'm surprised, like, you even mentioned dive kicks. In my opinion, like, for beginner guide, I would have hand waved this off as there are exceptions to this, and maybe have shown in the background a Cammy dive kick hitting the toes into a frame trap. That's just crazy that they're actually showing the dive kick stuff.
Work in most 2D fighters. Special moves and attacks that have an exceptionally slow startup animation have a fairly good chance of being what's known as plus on block, which in fighting game terms simply means it's not my turn on defense. Examples of this include Ken's heavy Dragon Lash kick in Street Fighter, Soul's Fafnir in Guilty Gear Strive, Vi's charged S1 in 2XKO, etc. This isn't a hard rule, as there are definitely slow moves that aren't plus on block, but these may make up for it by having a ton of pushback, dealing a lot of chip damage, maybe they have armor, etc. Many games also have universal techniques that allow...
I fear people might be lost at this point. These are all great things to point out, but there's a lot of assumptions baked in there, like what is pushback? I think you need slightly better visual examples to quickly cover these things. Like, even the concept of turn taking, like, yeah, it might be some player's turn, which means they have frame advantage and they can hit you first. I almost feel like you should spend more time on that to show a super slow-mo of you block something, the other person's move, they do the same move in a mirror match, but theirs comes out first. So they move slightly before you. Like, getting that assumption in your head of like, oh, there's like this minute timing difference, and that means a world of implications for the actual gameplay. Like, getting that to click is so essential to then move on to the next part. So this is a lot. And then pushback I would definitely cover at some point, but you'd have to show, I think, a negative move having their turn taken back by blocking without pushback, and then show a move with a lot of pushback at the same frame advantage and the move whiffing. Like, you need a real concrete visual example, I think, to make it click.
Allow the attacking player to keep their turn even if they're blocked, like Grand Blue Fantasy Versus forward light attack, commonly known as 66L, or Dragon Ball Fighter's homing attack while in sparking mode. There are also some universal rules of when it's your turn to attack after blocking. You should feel generally safe going back on the offensive after blocking most special moves, as long as they don't have follow-ups. These type of special moves are called Rekkas. Most sweep attacks, which are low-hitting heavy attacks most commonly found in Street Fighter, are almost always punishable. Reversal attacks like Dragon Punches and super moves are generally punishable as well. These are good rules to fall back on if you ever have to guess on whether it's your turn to attack. But as a general rule of thumb, if you press your fastest button after blocking something and notice that you're getting counter hit, you should make a mental note of that and say, okay, probably not my turn after I block that move.
That is the takeaway.
So now that you know
that is a key takeaway.
When and how to block.
So they said you should make a mental note after pressing a fast button after blocking a move. If you get counter hit, make a mental note of it and think that you probably shouldn't be pressing after there in the future. That is what I'm referring to when I say sometimes you need to touch the stove to see if it's hot. Sometimes when you're in situations where you don't know what's going on, just try your fastest move as a way to establish a benchmark to understand. If your fastest move, if you do it right after blocking a certain move from your opponent, if your fastest move still gets you counter hit, there's no chance other moves will be able to move first and you're negative on block. That's what that means. And so therefore, you're in an unfamiliar situation. You decided to see if it was safe or not. You get punished for it. Okay, now you know. Now you know after blocking this, it's not my turn. And that's how you start building up this game knowledge just by playing the game for longer. So that is the key takeaway for sure. You can test these situations live in a match by just pressing your fastest normal.
Block, and when you should switch to offense, let's focus on what you should be learning when you pick a character and take them into training mode. First off, pick a character that does what you want to do. If you want to play patiently, hanging back, throwing projectiles, and making it hard for your opponent to come to you, find a zoner character like Guile in Street Fighter, Axel in Strive, or Kain in Fatal Fury, just to name a few. If you don't want to focus on lengthy, difficult combos, and want to just bully your way in, land a couple of big throws, and call it a day, pick a grappler like Zangief or Potemkin.
Very true.
If you want to apply suffocating pressure and keep your opponent guessing on defense, find a rushdown character. Once you've got your character, focus on these three things primarily. How do I land a hit?
Let's see.
What do I do when my opponent jumps? What do I do when I land a hit? Let's break down
That's not
each
bad.
of these individually.
That's not a bad
How to land
checklist.
a hit is hard to talk about generally because it really does depend on what game you're playing and what character you're using. A slower paced 2D fighter might favor a more patient and reactive style of poking, anti-airing, and capitalizing on your opponent's mistake, while something like 2XKO encourages a much more aggressive and mix-up heavy style of play. In any case, here are some of the ways you'll be landing hits in fighting games. Think of this like your toolbox, and credit to glossary.info.net for these definitions.
Okay, they're going to cover poke. What else did they cover? I feel like they should go in depth and actually break down these with timed visual examples. And yeah, talking about whiff punishes, like, why would someone whiff an attack? I feel like that's super important to mention. You're jockeying for position on the screen, and you want to make contact with the opponent, predicting or thinking they're going to occupy a certain space in front of you for their own purposes of establishing a better position. But with their movement, they can retreat and bait out your attacks or not occupy that space, cause your predictive attack to whiff, and then they can react to that and press their own attack to, in turn, punish your whiff. You whiff because you can't never press buttons to check them, because otherwise people will just move you into the corner with their own presence. You have to do something. Like, I don't know. I think there's a bit of just the flow of fighting games to explain here. Mix up. I don't even know if I consider Street Fighter 6 Oki with Drive Rush lower overhead to be a mix-up. That might be a personal thing. Let me read the textbook definition they got here. A situation where the offensive player has several ways to attack that each require a different defensive action to stop, such as blocking in a different direction and avoiding throws. You know, there's in some other gaming fighting game communities, they get really anal, I'm going to use the word, about what they define as a mix-up. Like in DBFZ, if your shit does not hit frame 1 high-low actual mix-up where you can't fuzzy block in any direction, it's not considered a mix-up. They don't consider it mix. And then other anime communities get real into the whole reactable or not type of mindset, where people don't consider things within a certain reactable window with their animation to choose the right defensive option to be considered mix. And I'm not as extreme with that, but I kind of lean a little bit in that direction, because I don't know if I consider the same knockdown into a Drive Rush crouching low or Drive Rush overhead to be a mix-up. I consider that a reaction test. Lord and I did talk about this. Yeah, I think I saw that a long time ago. I think anime players get a little too crazy about it because they start defining shit that is like really on the precipice of reactable to be not a mix-up. I think that's stupid. But I honestly do agree that it's a slightly different situation where your mental stack being overloaded so you're not ready for an option is a little bit different to me than a pure mix-up. It's a spectrum, I think. I'm not full-blown like, oh, 16 frame overheads aren't mix-up. I think that's a little dumb. But I do feel like it's a lot more varied than, like, think of an air reset, left, right, side swap situation or instant overhead, right? Like, to me, that's more of like an actual mix-up where you're legitimately guessing, or you get faked out or something, right? Like a fancier sequence. But when it's a Drive Rush lower overhead, I don't feel like I got mixed up. I feel like I just didn't react. So it's a little bit different. It's kind of a mix-up. It's definitely, this is semantics. This is a side note. It's something I think about. There's a spectrum between reaction tests and mix-up, and I am not as extreme as a lot of people are, because I think they're missing the point at a certain point when they call 16 frame overheads not a mix-up, but there's an element of truth for that. Yeah, left-right mix-up. Like, this is you're getting mixed. It's all reactable, but yeah. You're gonna gloss over frame trap? I don't know, man. I'm not sure if I co-signed this section of the video. These are all great concepts to cover. I don't know how effective this will be. And like the thing about tick throw is, in my opinion, a tick throw is almost like a subset of a frame trap. A true tick throw? Well, I guess not all tick throws are true tick throws, but like a Street Fighter 6 style tick throw where you get +3, +2, whatever, and you throw them. That's almost like a frame. It's like a subset of a frame trap almost. Like, there's fundamental concepts here that are important to understand
in general, I'd
that these fall under.
Primarily on the first three: poke, anti-air,
Also technically strike throw mix. Yeah, exactly.
Poking to discourage ground approaches, anti-airing when they inevitably start trying to jump in on you, and punishing when you block something punishable.
Let's check this out again. Focus on these. Long range. Poke. Long range, low committal normals and projectiles. Anti-air, don't let them jump for free. And punish. Make them pay for their unsafe moves. Yeah. I feel like that's a pretty good starting point. Also, maybe I would include like your light punches. I would maybe include a fourth element here of mashing. I don't know what I would categorize it as. Challenge. So it's not just punish, it's also like under challenge. Like, you want to know what your fastest option is. When they're close, do your fastest option. When they're far away, do your poke. Anti-air them, and then if they make big mistakes, try to get a punish.
Inevitably start trying to jump in on you, and punishing when you block something punishable. As you get comfortable with those, or when you feel like you need more depth in your offense to match the rising skill level in your opponents, look to add in some more tools and build up your game plan from that starting foundation. As for what to do when the opponent jumps, this is where your anti-airs come in. Ideally, you'd have an anti-air combo that can punish someone heavily for trying to jump in on you, but even if it's just an anti-airing normal or special move, that's fine too. Practice anti-airing, and also think about what happens after the anti-air. Are they close enough that you can run up and pressure their wake up, or does it reset you back to the neutral position where you're back to poking?
This is great. Once again, I feel like just to be fair, this is still a great guide overall. It's very easy to be a critic and nitpick the gaps that you see after the fact. I just want to be very clear about that. I still think this is great work. Who was this? Was this Mitch or Rabbit? Just to be clear. However, I do think that I feel there's a big missing component of the space control element. Why are people jumping? Why would somebody jump? That hasn't been explained. And that goes back to the whiff punish. So they explain frame trap and frame advantage, all that's great. But how do you get into that state? That is done through the neutral. Why do people get hit in the neutral? Well, they're trying to hit you before you can get in to hit them. Why, if blocking is so good, don't people block forever? Well, if you block forever, throws beat blocking. Therefore, you're incentivized to do something, and throws are a true guess. You don't have any way to mitigate that. You're just actually guessing. If you keep getting put into guessing situations, odds are you're going to lose. So therefore, you want to be able to force them to block to make them guess if you're going to hit them or throw them. And therefore, you are both trying to fight each other and prevent the other opponent getting to a situation where they can force a strike throw. And you're playing this fencing battle. If you try to stop their movement and whiff, they can whiff punish you and get the party started. But if you never press, they can just steamroll you and push you into the corner. An option to jump over or mitigate all the attacks they can do on the ground is they can jump. Jumping can jump over all the space control they have and lead to big damage if it hits, and force them to block and get your strike throw mix right away. It's a shortcut to getting the end goal that you want, which is either a damage or a strike throw mix. Therefore, you need to be able to anti-air people with your move when they jump. Focusing on anti-air makes it harder to react on the ground, and that's the delicate balance of 2D fighters. So I think they just missed the part of, like, how do you get into these states, and, like, why is he jumping? Why would somebody jump? Why do I need to anti-air? They mentioned why you need an anti-air because they're plus on block when they jump, but why are they jumping? So I think that's a real fundamental missing component about the neutral. And that's why I always use, like, the fencing analogy. That is so key to piece this together, and I think that what should have been explained very early on, or maybe the first thing they explained early on. And then all these other pieces kind of stem from that. Remember, they're jumping because they want to shortcut through neutral to force the strike throw mix. Therefore, you need to pay attention to the anti-air. When you're paying attention to anti-air, it's harder to control the ground because you're splitting your focus. They might get you on the ground next time. And you can, vice versa, do that to them. Mix in the jump, makes them look for the anti-air. Then they might be weaker on the ground.
And what do I do when I land a hit? This is where it's time to put that combo you've been practicing to use. Remember that it's more important to learn an easy combo that you can land 100% of the time than it is to learn a harder, more damaging combo that you drop half the time or more. Most fighting games these days have perfectly serviceable combos that you
go
can
for
learn within the
Opti.
game's own
Opti
teaching
combos
tools.
only.
Try to have a combo for the following situations. A quick light attack combo that you can use without spending any resources and can punish moves with a short punishment window. A more damaging combo that uses resources, whether that's an EX special move, a super move, or both, and typically comes out of a slower and stronger starting attack. A corner variation that can squeeze some extra damage in the corner. And ideally, an anti-air combo. Just like with anti-airs, you also want to take note of the situation after you land a combo. Do you have time to pressure your opponent after your combo lands? Or
by the way, this was never my mouse. I thought this was my mouse this whole time. And half the gameplay footage example, there's a mouse on screen. I'm sure they saw this in editing and were like, fuck.
Combo lands, or does it leave you too far away? Plan for what you're going to do after the combo
Cam
ends
died?
so that you
Perfect.
can either keep your pressure going, or hang
Just
back
what I
to
wanted.
establish your zoning if that's where your character is strong at. Don't forget throws either. Throws will beat blocking, and in some games are extremely strong and can lead to damaging combos by themselves.
Yes,
Start off
throws
with
beat
these three
blocking.
things, and once you feel
Important.
comfortable with these fundamentals, that's when you can start looking into other ways to open your opponents up, either with high-low mix-ups, strike-throw mix-ups, frame traps, spacing traps to try and set up easier whiff punish opportunities, etc. You'll notice in the previous point that I left out jump-ins as one of your main methods of landing hits that you should focus on. That's because jump-ins, while extremely rewarding and easy to pull off, come with a lot of risk. A lot of new players use them as a crutch at low levels because most players in the lower ranks aren't great at anti-airing. This leads to a hard to break habit once you start climbing higher in the ranks and the players start picking up that you're a jumper, and they proceed to anti-air.
What up, Shuckle? No, they're high master. So they are at least 1600 MR with Cammy. I think this might be a different CFN.
Every single jump
They seem pretty solid at all the games they showed.
attempt you make. Similarly, wake-up reversals are a very powerful technique that can get an aggressive enemy off of you, but the risk-reward balance is not in your favor. You land an invincible reversal, you deal a decent chunk of damage, and reset the situation to neutral. That's not bad, but if they block it, you are very likely going to lose a substantial amount of life, and then just repeat that same situation. Now, of course, this isn't to say that you should never jump or do an invincible reversal. It's always good to show that you're willing to use them as a tool, and you can use the threat of them to get yourself out of bad situations. But you need to be extra careful not to become predictable, and primarily use them for when you think the opponent isn't looking for them. A big mistake that a lot of players make is that they learn a combo and then autopilot the whole combo regardless of whether their first hit was blocked or not. This
Very
is bad
true.
because a lot of the times the final hit of a combo is unsafe on block, which will lead to getting punished. So one of the skills that you will have to learn is what's known as hit confirming. So, for example, a very simple but effective Cammy combo is light punch, crouching light kick, crouching light punch, light or medium spiral arrow.
This is the slime special here. This is very true. You have to be able to recognize that the hit sparks are showing the hit animation and only end in your unsafe ender of the combo if it's hit or not. I think this is a valid time to bring this up.
Combo, I am autopiloting the 3 normal hits, but then I'm visually confirming whether or not the first 2 hits landed. If they did, then I would do the full combo, ending with spiral arrow. But if they don't, then I stop at light punch and switch to blocking, since light punch by itself is safe when blocked. This is a crucial skill, and I highly recommend practicing it by going into training mode, setting the dummy to random block, and letting the full combo rock if all the hits connect, and cutting it short if they're blocked. The most powerful techniques
Not a bad
in modern
drill.
fighting games are often the ones that every character gets to use. In Street Fighter 6, you have drive rushes, parries, and drive impacts. In Grand Blue, there's the aforementioned 6-6L. In Strive, you've got Roman cancels, active tags, and 2x KO. The list goes on and on. Again, there's just too much to go into every single one of these, so I'm just going to leave it as a general note that one of the best ways to get good at fighting games is to make sure that you have a firm grasp of what all the universal mechanics are and how you can use them to either open an opponent's guard, escape pressure, start your offense, or deal with something that's otherwise very cheap. As mentioned at the very beginning, there's so much more that we could cover. But this video is already pretty long for a beginner's guide, and if you did make it all the way to the end, well, thanks a bunch. I hope it helps. Thanks for watching, and for everything else in the world of video games, keep it here on IGN.
Okay. My verdict. Not bad. Not bad. For a beginner's fighting game guide published to IGN, I will say it could have been horrendous. It really could have been god-awful. So I think they did a really solid job. So shoutouts to, I think that was Jurassic Rabbit. I think that was a pretty solid beginner's guide overall. Obviously, I have some mild critiques. I do think that maybe the concept of neutral could have been better emphasized to understand the flow of the game. Because I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about fighting games is understanding why you're doing anything. And I think that really helps to explain why blocking is so powerful. I feel like telling people blocking is good, it doesn't register to beginners until you tell them that blocking beats everything except for throws. So therefore, why are you mashing and getting hit? What does it matter? Right? Like that helps to start getting the gears turning to understand, yes, you do have to sometimes take your turn back and try to press buttons and jockey for position. And it makes you understand why you are pressing buttons both defensively and offensively. And it ties together with everything else. Why are anti-airs good? Why are jumpings good? Why is dashing good? Why are block strings good? Why are throws good? Why are people getting hit in the first place? What is the motivation behind the player on defense that I can exploit to then open them up and then go into my combos, right? So I think that's super important. That was kind of not really addressed, I think, in this video. That would be my major critique, but overall, pretty good. I think you can learn a lot about the genre from this video, and I definitely respect throwing up some fighting game content on IGN. All right, not bad. I also appreciate how many fighting games he played had footage for, like Man Likes Fighting Games. Yeah, it's true. I think they established their credibility. It's difficult to do publications, to do fighting game content for major publications, because generally you just get misrepresented by people who don't know anything about the genre because it's too niche. Happens all the time. So they got someone who knew what they were doing and talking about. So for sure, respect for that. Difficult topic to cover all 2D fundamentals. It's not easy. Very much not easy. Okay. Is it time to study some Daigo? So I do want to watch some Daigo Umehara. Let me get it up.
It's mind-blowing.
Okay, guys. With the new year, I'm feeling a little nostalgic. And, you know, maybe I got to do some studying for some upcoming projects. But I wanted to go back and watch some classics. I want to watch some classics. Daigo Umehara up against Cien. This is on August 29th, 2013. This is a month after Cien had just won EVO. Cien wins CEO 2013, then wins EVO 2013 with his signature again at that time in Super Street Fighter 4 AE 2012. And they then have a show match at the Mad Catz Unveiled at PAX Prime, a 1-10 set. So this is Cien fresh off of a 1-10 win going up against Daigo the Beast, who at this time in Street Fighter 4, while he was, you know, the back-to-back 2009-2010 EVO champion, he hadn't been winning as many big premier level majors at this time. He was still doing very good though, and still placing high on like things like Topanga League, and actually had a very interesting set with Cien at Topanga League, where he beat Cien 12-10. But also a month before that, Cien won Southeast Asia Majors Team 2012 over Daigo there as well. So they were going back and forth in these sets, and then Cien goes on to win EVO. And Daigo, I believe, gets 7th or 5th place at EVO 2013. I don't quite remember. He's for sure top 8. And then there's the series of Mad Catz Unveiled events going around the world, and they set up all these exhibition sets. You know, at this time, if you don't know, Mad Catz is actually the premier arcade stick manufacturer, like the best in the world. They're the gold standard. They're not just known here for their really crappy secondhand controllers that you are giving to your siblings who don't want to play on them. And they're also the sponsor. Daigo is sponsored by Mad Catz, making him the first ever professional sponsored Japanese gamer, period. Tokido and Mago are on Team Mad Catz. Like, this was the team. This was Mad Catz, then there was EG, then there was Echo Fox, right? Like, this was the team. And they set up these exhibition sets, and this is Cien against Daigo, fresh off his EVO win.
And 2 EVO champions are going to be going at it, 1-10.
I got to study up. I might be pausing to make some notes here.
That's right, Z, the skinny Asian dude. All right, guys, here's the first match.
Should be pretty hype. I'm excited.
And these guys had a heated match back when they had the Topanga League Asia qualifiers. Here we go, we're gonna start it off. And Daigo right now playing that zoning game with the fireballs.
Wait, hold on. Let me actually. There's another POV of this. Hold on. Hold on. Is there another POV with Z on commentary?
And two Evo champions are going to be going at it. First to 10.
Yeah, I gotta say that.
EX Olga, hello Spooky. I have just
Oh no, Z does hop on. Okay, this is the right
One
one.
of the best fireballs in the business. Nice trade there.
Yep. Okay. Into the forward overhead. I like it.
Cross up Tatsus.
Stan's again ducked right under it.
Yeah, I gotta say that. Jan is starting off pretty strong.
It's still pretty even here in this first round.
Yep.
Let's see who's going to draw first blood and who's going to go nuts. First 10.
Nice anti-air.
Nice
It's gonna be a
anti-air.
long set, and I'm gonna pass it
Kick
off to
stance
my man,
anti-air
Z.
right there.
All right, so we got Z joining me in just a second, fellas.
Mmm.
Oh, we got the EX Shakanetsu. That's 3 bars. Look at that double juggle there.
Oh, that's checkmate. Oh, he got out of that.
Hello Spooky. I have just
Okay, I forgot about the fireball invincibility on the wake up dive kick.
It is Pac Prime.
Oh,
comes out with
okay.
the cleaver. You know those old Chinese men playing chess at Chinatown do not cut
Nice
their
jump
nails
back.
when they're gambling. That hurts.
Yeah, Cien Gen was so
Jump back
sick,
air.
dude. I loved watching his Gen. If you guys don't know the deal with Gen in this game, Cien came out of nowhere winning Canada Cup. Nowhere, I'm being a little facetious here. He won Canada Cup 2012, I think, at the end of the season. And it turns out Gen basically had all these hard knockdown, unblockable setups. And he has the crouching medium punch into hands, which is a great neutral tool, which can convert to super and then convert that into ultra. And had all these really nasty hard knockdown setups from forward throw, from his DP, heavy kick DP ender as well. And he would literally be setting up either insane guessing left-right mix-ups or unblockables, on top of having really great neutral. And he's alternating between these stances he has. You can stance cancel in block strings, I believe, and during combos, if I remember correctly. And you have access to a completely separate moveset. The kick stance, the crane stance, has a lot more weird, unorthodox moves. And I believe it's the crane stance. I need to double check that. But the punch stance is going to be like your default, kind of more Shoto-esque moveset. Even though in general his moves are just weird.
Jump back roundhouse.
Well, we've seen it from other characters. Jump back short, especially. Works very well.
So that's the crouching medium punch he uses in the regular stance.
The score between these two players in overall history is 2-1. Cien first played him at Southeast Asia Major, and then the run back was at Kuwait in the Yahweh TV. And then in the latest episode of Topanga Asia League, Daigo took it pretty convincingly, 7-5, I believe. So
Actually, Z's dropping knowledge here.
In the Yahweh TV.
I didn't know about this Kuwait match. Hold on. So I had the Southeast Asia Majors, and I had the Topanga League. Let me get that down. I need to look into that.
And then in the latest Southeast Asia Major, and then the run back was at Kuwait in the Yahweh TV. And then in the latest episode of Topanga Asia League, Daigo took it pretty convincingly, 7-5, I believe. So
I think it was 12-10, wasn't it?
Oh wait, was that one of those marathon sets?
That was
Yeah, it was 12-10.
Crazy sets where Daigo finally at the end pulled ahead 2 games to defeat him.
Hey,
Execution. So here's the DP. He's going to go for the hard knockdown, and usually... Yeah, exactly. So he goes, after the hard knockdown, he goes for this charge move, which allows him to cling to the wall and then fly at you at an angle. And he doesn't go for that setup here. He cuts it short and he goes in front. He did the slightly diagonal downward angle one, but you can create setups, and I'm not sure if it exists versus Ryu, and is that foolproof. There might be some technicalities for why he didn't go for it here. But you go a bit more horizontally at like a 45-degree angle, and you go straight through Ryu's head, and it's essentially unblockable or like a meaty left-right 50-50. And then you juggle after that into another DP. It pops him into the air, and then you can loop that. But he keeps it same side there.
Can opener.
Goes down.
Now, for those of you that did not watch the Topanga Asia League, there was a new strategy by Daigo to basically camp himself in the left corner, as he is fond of the 1T side.
Okay.
And basically...
Oh, drop the
the
combo?
reason being, Gen's cross-ups are too dirty to deal with, and when you corner yourself,
Nice
actually,
combo.
you only have to block from the front. Oh!
Yep.
Gonna hit, yes!
Matchup tech.
Why Daigo Umahara was saving
So I
up
think
his
that's the
super there.
first time we see Daigo and all these sets versus Cien. That's the first time he actually represents that that actual punish right there, where the hands are typically safe on block. However, if only it depends on the number of hits that connect and having the super. The Ryu super is really fast, really fast, right? So it'll punish a lot of things that you normally couldn't punish, and it has a lot of range. But it also depends on how many hits this actually touches with. And the reason Gen just does that, he just buffers into crouching medium punch into hands, because if it hits, he can just convert. Like, it's kind of like a dry rush cancel conversion. He gets the crouching medium into hands. If it hits, he does FADC for 2 bars forward into a combo. So he can also go into super if he has full meter. So it's a safe way usually to fish for hit confirms. But because only a couple of hits whiff, the last couple of hits are whiffing based on the spacing, reversal super's a punish.
Oh, that's gonna hit, yes! And that is why Daigo Umahara was saving up his super there. Blocked, low medium punch into hands is unsafe on hit and block, and that is a 2.
Yeah, it's also unsafe on hit.
All that plasma like a mega buster
This match happened in
from
August
Zero
29 of
in the face
2013.
again. Oh, that's gonna
Yeah,
crumble.
level
Here
2
we go.
focus is so far range for Cien.
Just burning those caps on that
Good
treadmill.
blocks from Daigo. Like, this is
Like there.
super ambiguous. So this jump MK is a cross-up as well. Where did this hit? You know what I mean? Like, every time Gen gets this knockdown, this is a hard knockdown. And if you never played Gen, it's actually pretty funny. Just doing this juggle with the DP is one of the weirdest experiences in the world. If you never played Street Fighter 4, I challenge you to go pick Gen and try to... Oh, actually, I think in the latest version, they made it auto-timed. The timing was so strange. You had to manually time each one of these extensions to keep them in the juggle, and you were rewarded if you got the final hit with more damage, of course, but also the hard knockdown. And this created a really crazy setup potential. I think in Ultra, they made it so it's auto-timed, essentially, or way more lenient, but it's not a hard knockdown anymore. Maybe I'm misremembering. They changed something about it. You know, they were like, "Oh, we're done with this vortex." It wasn't really worth it for Gen to go into the heavy DP anymore for some change. I can't remember. So that's why he whiffs DP here for a little bit of a frame kill and meter build, and then he walks forward ever so slightly and goes for the jump. And the thing about this is Gen has 2 stances that change the jump options and the jump arc as well. So he just changes stances fluidly. There's no animation or anything. You just press 3 punches or 3 kicks and you start swapping stances. So you are also not exactly sure what stance he's going to jump at you with until he's already in the air. So that's something to think about. And even then, in the punch stance, your main offensive stance, this jump MK is so fucking bullshit. It can land in front. It can land in the back. And it's often unblockable. It's often literally just unblockable. So Daigo blocking, he blocked like the past 2 setups. It's actually really hard to block.
Those caps on that treadmill exercise bike there. Oh, look
Woo,
at that perfect stand,
footsies.
standing right outside of the range of the low medium kick.
See, look at that one. So this was the crane jump. So on this knockdown, we saw him use the regular punch stance twice in a row. This time he swaps to the crane, and you go a bit more forward, and then this jump in is a crazy cross-up.
Nice cross.
Literally unblockable or just really vague. It's either really ambiguous or it's literally unblockable. There's some setups which are a lot more frame perfect, which are literally unblockable every time they go for, but some of these setups require manual timing, and if you nail the timing, it ends up just being unblockable because Street Fighter 4 is broken. And the unblockables in this game are frame perfect blockables. Basically, the reason they become unblockable is because when you wake up holding a block direction, you end up moving your hurt box and it swaps the side that you're on, so you always cross yourself up. But if you last second frame perfect block and just press back or forward as you're getting hit, you'll block it. So yeah, again, had a lot of unblockables in that sense. The Street Fighter 4 style unblockables.
So you saw both Daigo and Sako employing the punish of the hands.
Yeah, and the hands are really good for focus breakers.
And Daigo's using his super. Any move that is
Yeah, reversal fireball after blocking the hands, taking the frame advantage there.
Oh, suspicious lack of anti-air from both players here.
I love that turret combo low. This is another interesting option that he has from the crane stance. So it's a 2-hit turret combo, crouching light kick, crouching medium kick, and I think he wanted to get the whiff punish here in the crouching MK. Like, look at the spacing they're playing around, by the way. This is called footsies. So he's trying to get the whiff punish, and if that connected, that lets him hit confirm the 2 hits into his super. His super will also then juggle after for a combo follow-up or go into his ultra. So Gen was like had like Street Fighter 5 style damage out of nowhere, where he landed one touch and he would do like 60%, 70%, something crazy.
Yeah, they're playing nervous.
Lands on that. All right, Daigo's gonna go full plasma now, and now there's nothing.
So Daigo's gonna build super. Yeah, he's gonna have super. And so his hands are limited. Can't drop.
Is it enough? No.
Can he set up a chip? Yep, see, what are you gonna do? Ah. So this would have been chip. So this is the dive kick setup. This is not the unblockable. The unblockable setup requires you to be mid-screen. But when you're in the corner, you know, you can come down from above. And this is just meaty as fuck. And you can't DP it. Like, if Daigo attempted to DP, maybe it could have connected if things got weird. But 9 times out of 10, what happens is the DP just whiffs. And when the DP whiffs, you just die. But this is going to chip him. Or set up a block string for chip. So Cien sets us up, and then Daigo tries to backdash out of it, because backdashes are actually invincible in this game, but they're still punishable on whiff. So Cien is ready just for the jab.
Chip damage, and that is the only way to avoid it is the backdash,
Yes.
but again moves first, and he pokes him in the eye with the 3.
I was playing Gen at this time because I was a Cien fanboy.
Everyone's burning down. It looks like Daigo is the arsonist setting this old
Yeah,
man
so
on fire.
ODDP was invincible. EXDP for Gen was invincible, but you see here, it doesn't give him the hard knockdown. They just get up right away. And then this overhead, this is interesting. In the crane stance again, the crane stance is the one with all the weird moves. He has a 2-hit overhead, which breaks focus, and he goes, whap, boom, and, you know, pokes you in the top of the head. Cool move. Except he has another move where he goes, what? And then scoops down below and goes, bop, bop, and like, you know, scoops your balls real quick. And that's a 2-hit low. So in that stance, he has these 2 big wind-up moves. One's an overhead and one's a low. And it's so sick. Yeah, the low did a lot of damage. The overhead just tickles them, but the low did chunks of damage.
Very difficult to use in a sentence. Oh, that's a clean jump in. Nope, spoke too soon. Nice throw.
Setup.
Nice
Good
cross-up.
blocks.
Daigo's got good defense.
You gotta understand, blocking jump-ins in this game was so hard from Gen. Like,
Cross-up setup. Daigo's got
really
good
strong
defense.
blocks from Daigo.
Every time Cien and Daigo plays, the ambiguous setups become less and less ambiguous as Daigo learns the little intricacies. Oh, what? Sneaking under that fireball.
Oh, so many weird little tricks, right? Chip was real in this game. If you got chipped, you died. I think this is the crane stance crouching light kick, if I remember.
Little intricacies. Oh, what? Sneaking
Then
under
it just
that
like low
fireball.
profile as a fireball.
Nice anti-air again.
And that is a KO.
Sorry, what happened here?
Nice anti-air
Yeah, crane
again.
stance anti-air,
And that is a KO.
but DP FADC, which I believe was still plus on block at this time.
But now Cien with the meter advantage. Let's see if he can take advantage of it.
You can
Daigo
see
again,
Cien swapping stances back and forth, looking for different options.
Like an emo,
He's still got full super right now.
right in the dark corner, all by himself.
very focused to get in, and he just waits.
That's the precursor to perfect parry, Fireball OS. FADC forward through Fireball.
And he has no EX bar to throw the Shakanetsu to break the
No anti-air?
Oh, misses the link. Now, Daigo
I think his anti-airs are weaker in the punch stance. So, like, the punch stance is better offense, generally, but has weaker anti-airs. Heavy punch can anti-air sometimes, though. And the DP sort of can anti-air. It's kind of weak for that.
7 out of 8 players changed their button. I'm sorry, 6 out
The
of
crane
8
stance had a much better anti-air with the crouch heavy kick, I think it was.
Popular setup among strong Street Fighter players, for sure.
It is the secret sauce in a lot of champions. So all you modders out there,
Daigo's just like running away.
oh, nice. Wow.
Jump back light kick.
Often, rarely used jumping short.
Shan took advantage to get a nice grab.
Oh, he's like, this dude keeps blocking my jump-ins. Oh, look at this. I like the adaptation.
Throw them both.
Again, he's on full super and ultra.
Oh wow, throw after
He's
throw.
doing empty jump throw because Daigo's blocking all of his ambiguous jump-ins. But, hold on. What the fuck is this, dude? Where did this hit? Is that in front? Is that a cross-up? Where did this hit? Yeah, it might have hit in front and landed behind. I don't know, man. Is that do I have to relearn the spark animations? Would that cue me in? Is this a hit in front? I'm a little rusty on the minutia of Street Fighter 4.
Throw them bows.
And so the reason also, just to be clear, why Daigo is playing so carefully right now, Gen has super. When Gen has super, Gen has instant confirm from any medium punch to hands. Obviously, Daigo showed that with his super, he can punish that pretty easily, but he doesn't have access to that in the meter economy. This super is a win condition for Gen. You just die. Also, the kickstance super, he has 2 different versions of the super. The punch stance super is confirmed from the hands from anything really easily into super, which then juggles into ultra to do 700% damage. The kick version of the super and ultra has anti-air properties. He goes up and grabs you in the air, and the kick super is in the air like on frame 2 or something insane. It will just if you're not touching the ground, it will grab you out of the air. It's almost like an air demon. It's very strange. So Gen has to think about, like, am I going more offensively or defensively? Punch stance is more offense, kick stance a little bit more defense. And you're definitely very careful when Gen has super. It's a really matchup defining super.
Oh, brains all that meter.
Anything can happen. Good escape, good escape, good escape.
I don't like
He missed the
that.
ultra?
All his
So I think this was an unblockable setup. Everyone's doing unblockable setups in this day and age.
brains all that meter.
So he has to get out.
Anything can happen. Good escape, good escape, good
I
escape.
Yeah, he
don't
tried
like
to
that.
ultra.
All his meter. Let's see if he can get it on win honestly here.
No, he didn't go into ultra?
He's gonna have to work for it again.
And he blocked again?
Daigo doesn't reversal out.
Oh, again. 7 seconds here.
Oh my god.
Danger,
Daigo's
danger
ahead.
here.
Daigo's ahead. Good cross up.
Nice tech. It's over. Timer scam. Dude,
Doesn't reverse.
Instead, he's gonna all his meter. Let's see if he can get it
these
on
blocks
win
from Daigo are
honestly here.
insane. Yeah,
Good escape, good escape.
I don't like that. He burnt all his meter. Let's see if
Cien
he
was
can
not
get
ready
it
for
on
this.
win honestly here.
He meant to do low forward fireball.
Instead, he's gonna have to work
And this
for
was a
it
setup.
again.
Look at this setup. How is Daigo blocking all of these?
Ultra instead, he's gonna have to work for it again.
Good cross up setup.
Yeah, his blocks were just insane.
Again. 7 seconds here.
In the previous sets they played, Daigo was getting hit by these jump-ins a lot.
Good break.
And that should be it. That's gonna burn it.
Time to scan.
Jen got a little nervous, didn't want to deal with the jump in of Daigo after that forward throw setup.
This is on 360, I believe. 360 was the standard.
Used the super to get out, and because of it, didn't have the firepower to come back in that round. Jen is so dependent, like many other characters, on his super bar, perhaps more than the others.
It's funny that the hands, though, they really do just tickle you. Like, if they're further away, they do less hits and it's way less damage. If it hits really close, it can actually do a ton of damage. But, like, he gets this punish on the sweep.
Like many other characters on his super bar, perhaps
And,
more than the others.
that's from the medium punch. That's the medium punch damage. And then the hands do, like, 2 pixels. Oh, by the way, yeah, the hands, they're not a quarter circle or motion input. They're piano. You have to hit 5 inputs. It's not even a Street Fighter 5 style of 4 inputs, which is what I think you required in Street Fighter 4 for the mash moves. It's 5, meaning to do hands, to get the proper strength of hands, which I believe was heavy, common technique was to slide. You would start a medium punch to activate it, slide left to light punch, slide off, slide back, light punch, medium punch, heavy punch. So you would kind of do this, and so that way you would get medium punch, light punch, medium punch, heavy punch. And so doing that, I was like developing calluses on my index finger. So I'm not sure the technique Cien was using to do that. That's a common technique for Gen players, is the sliding technique. If you're godlike, you can just go like, you know, piano it. I did swiping. It was easy to mess up, and you wanted the heavy. The other ones were not working properly in those situations. Okay, hard knockdown. Oh, there it is. There's the little swoopty scoop, right? So this low does mad damage. I'm not kidding. He's trying to cup a feel, like, you know what I mean? Like he's like, hey, give me that. Keep your hands to yourself, man. Come on now, like it's really just going for it. So that low does chunks. It really does a lot.
Also the bowling move, but no turkey for him. And there it is, the Shakunetsu.
Can't focus that.
So Daigo alternating between the using all 4 bars for Shakunetsu and also for his super. Oh, that's gonna link. Is that a
Crispy links.
So disgusting. Let's see, four hits.
Crispy links.
That was disgusting.
This is the boom boom years when Sony was making that mini Walkman, the new technology from Japan.
And Gen's focus is really good. It has so much range. That's why you see him going for a lot of focus.